Lesson 2.3 is about linear regression and correlation. So the line of best fit, which we worked on in the last lesson, also known as the least squares or regression line, has two important properties. First of all, it minimizes the sum of the squared residuals. So the squared residuals is what we did in lesson 2.2 when we compared the two lines of best fit. So it minimizes the sum of the squared residuals, and it also contains the center of mass. The center of mass is the point x bar comma y bar, where x bar is the mean of the x values, and y bar is the mean of the y values. To measure the strength of the linear relationship between two variables, a correlation coefficient is used. It is often denoted by the letter R. So it's called the correlation coefficient, and we use the letter R. This is something that the calculator finds for us. We do not do it by hand. So you should use your statistics utility, otherwise your calculator. But you should be able to interpret the value of R in the context of your data. In general, the sign of R indicates the direction, so positive or negative, going up or going down, and the magnitude or amount indicates the strength of the relationship. So basically, what you need to know, positive is going upward like a positive slope. Negative is going downward like a negative slope, and it's about how close it is to looking like a line. So in R that's close to 1 is the strongest. A perfect correlation occurs when R equals plus or minus 1, and this means the points are in a line. So if the points make a line, then a line drawn will fit it perfectly. So if we look at here, so for A, R equals 1, so it's positive because it's a positive slope, and essentially it makes pretty much a perfect line, so it's a perfect correlation. We don't care what the slope of the line is, we just know that it makes a line going upwards. For the one below it, we have a line going downwards. So this is an R of -1. Again, it's not the slope being -1, it's about the line going down or having a negative slope and making a perfect line. If we look at B, looks like this one was D, it just got covered up. If we look at B now, it's definitely going upwards. If you were to draw a line of best fit and go up, you can tell that it's going in that direction, but it's not too close together. So we call it about a 0.6. And if you guess like a 0.5 or a 0.7, if it was about guessing, that would be fine. We only know this for sure with our calculator. For E, -0.8, downward slope, so negative. It looks a little closer to making a line than this one did. They're a little closer together. So -0.8, definitely negative going downwards, somewhere between 0.5 and 1. C, R is 0 because you can't even really tell what it's doing. It's definitely not making a line anywhere. Would our best fit go here, 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 here? We have no clue. F is the same way. You're like, oh, it's making a parabola. Well, it's not making a line at all. Our line of best fit would look like, I don't even know what it would look like, right? So R equals 0. It doesn't matter that it makes some other shape. R is showing how close it is to making a line. So it doesn't make a line at all. Whatever it looks like, your R would be 0. Looking at this, take a second and think, in the graph below, which of the values is a reasonable answer for R? Again, this is just among the choices. Okay, so you should have come up with negative 0.9. Reason being, it's not a perfect negative slope, so it can't be A. Negative 0.1 is too close to 0, and we know it makes a pretty good line. 1.25, it's not going to be it's not going to be above 1, first of all, and also it's positive slope. 0.5 is positive slope, so negative 0.9 is the only one that would work because it's going downwards, forming a line kinda close. Keep in mind, if there was a choice between negative 0.8 and negative 0.9, I would have no clue what it is. You'll never be asked that. So for this question here, if r squared is 0.6, we're looking for what are the values for r. This is really just an equation. If r squared is 0.6, if we square root both sides, r could be plus or minus the square root of 0.6, which is 0.8, or negative 0.8. So if that's our r squared, we could have a positive or negative r. So your next task for today is to look at the 2.3b notes, and you will use the PowerPoint, I think I called it 2.3b PowerPoint, to go through and use your calculator and calculate a regression model and your r value.